Good afternoon, traders and investors. Welcome to 30 minutes of nonstop ranting by Dennis Dick. We're here for the closing print on this yo-yo market. And man, oh man, we said heavy market. Well, it wasn't heavy this morning. Nice rally, gave it all back. Choppy market. Bottom line, S&P's down 17 handles. It's trying to stay above 5,500. The buck losing a little bit of steam, down 23 cents, down 2 days in a row, 101.07. TLT reaching for triple digits, up 53 cents, 99.54. Crude only up 13 cents at 69.33. Gold trying to get back to old-time highs, up 2020 at 25.46. Silver doing great on a percentage basis, up 60 cents at 29.16. And Bitcoin futures, they're down $1,800 at 56,515. Stop the charts here for a second. In Triple D, man, is this a tough intraday market? I mean, bearish this morning. You get run over, and then you have a 65 handle decline. I mean, you really got a tug of war going on here between the bulls and the bears.
It is. This is why intraday trading is really tough because the shop that is just out there. And this is why I have, switched my strategy 10 years ago to being mostly an overnight trader. I trade the close, I trade the overnight session, I trade the pre-market session, I trade the open. And then after 10 o'clock, I'm pretty much done trading because it's just, no rhyme or reason, it's just chop fast, direction. I mean, here we are just take NVIDIA as case in point in today's trading action. I mean, it's a little bit of a quieter day, but, it's down at 104, then it rallies up to 109, then it's back down to 106. Now we just stay there for 3 hours between 106 and 107.50. So it's just, this is the market like intraday for years. So it's just directionally, it's not a great time in the middle of the day. You're making directional bets. It's usually not a great time. You get good direction overnight. You get good direction. I'm all tangled in my cord after hours and pre-market, but then it just gets lost in direction. Then sometimes the opening will dictate direction. For today, Berkshire Hathaway, oh my
Whoa,
gosh.
whoa, whoa. You
I
going
got
home?
out at the open. My strategy has been buy at the close, sell at the open. I actually lost on this one. It opened down only 11 cents. What a gift to me. So it only opened barely down, and then it just lost $13. Where'd that come from? Like, why all of a sudden? I know financials are a little bit weak. I know industrials are a little bit weak here today, but Berkshire is the most weak. Is there something, one of its holdings, something happened I didn't see? Is Warren, coughed, the wrong direction? Did he get COVID? What's up? Because I actually didn't see what the Warren Buffett news here is, but this stock has been straight down all day. So maybe there was a headline or maybe there's something that I missed. That is a huge move. We talked about Buffett. It was up for 9 straight days, and then in one day, it gets 5 days back. Wow,
Does this make
that's
does this make
crazy.
you does this make you temper that strategy now? Because actually, I looked at the candle yesterday,
That
and
scares me for sure. Yeah,
yeah, yep.
I got
But
lucky to get out of it. Like I've been playing it, I've been done really well. Like if I look at my sheets, I bet you Burke is one of my biggest winners of the month, just because I've been on the right direction. But very lucky to get out the open. But that's my strategy: buy the overnight and sell on the open. So I just selling it on the open. It opened down 8 cents. It opened down 8 cents. I got out on the opening print 478.49. Lucky.
you know what? I was looking at this yesterday because I was thinking, and Jay made the comment about, what happens if Warren passes on, to you. Then you're like, well, yeah, I'm going to take a
5 to
haircut.
10% down
But
for
I
sure.
looked at it at one point, and it was a red candle. It didn't end up that much of a red candle, but I just said, I wonder if that's a little bit of a warning shot because it went up and made a new all-time high, and it still closed up on the day, but it only closed like 11 cents below the open. But still, you know how we like those opening prices, those opening indications. So it opened, it had to rally, and then it gave it back. So we'll have to do some further analysis on that. But down $14.
And
In
Oxy, we should just continue with the Warren Buffett.
Okay.
Oxy is breaking down. And I warned about this multiple times when the stock is
Mm.
57, 58. I've been talking about it. People are reaching out, are you buying Oxy, buying Oxy? I'm like, no, you know why? Buffett stopped buying. Buffett has not bought. We talked about this on pre-market prep since June. That's an issue. He's full. So he's full. He was holding the stock up almost single-handedly, it felt like. Now, obviously not. You have oil breaking down. It's an oil stock, so it's going to follow oil. But there's no Buffett put here anymore. There's no Buffett support because he has stopped buying. And now we're down, breaking down through support. So I played the Oxy. I don't know. It felt like a dozen times off the 57, 58 level. Made money every single time pretty much. I think every time. I sold the last stock at 62, 63. And then I was waiting. I was thinking about 58, 59. We're coming to the buy area. But then I'm watching, the insider SEC filings. No Buffett buy. No Buffett buy. I'm like, well, I'm not buying if he's not buying. And he hasn't bought. So there's no green light here go on Oxy because Buffett apparently is full.
And it also oil has not been kind, right? I'll just go
Definitely
to the
not.
USO here.
Commodities have not been kind, Joel. Like I just bought 2x4s at Home Depot and they were $3.70. I mean, they haven't been that low at Home Depot in a very long time. So lumber, oil, we know gold's going the opposite way. Gold is going up because, I guess it's just a flight to safety and people are worried about stocks here right now. But it's been, a relentless seller here in oil for a while now.
And they're talking about increasing supply. Look, just real quick, look at copper, right? I mean, but this is all good for inflation, but it's not good
Yes, it
for
is.
well, it's good. It's good for inflation, right? But it's not
Yes, it is.
good if you look at copper here. That's not, that doesn't mean there's a ton of demand. I mean, don't you need copper to build all these data centers to, into buildings? So it's not great for the overall outlook on the economy, but I think it's good for inflation. Or am I making a little bit of a stretch there?
No, definitely commodity deflation, and we're seeing actually not even deflation, like it's full on prices going down. So yeah, deflation. We're seeing commodity deflation, disinflation, deflation. We're full on seeing commodity prices go down. That's got to help. So that helps the numbers. And I mean, the Fed's looking at this, probably commodities coming down. And again, you can look at certain charts and obviously, you look at, just bringing these up and, you look at the move since 2020, soybeans, and it's a big sell off in the last 6 months, but, we're at $384 and you're 1,000. I mean, they still got serious commodity inflation over the course of the last 4 years, but we've come down. What about lumber futures? Can you get lumber futures on there?
You know what? There's the ETF. There's the ETF for
again, seeing where we were in 2020 to where we are now. I mean, we've come down, and lumber futures have come down substantially.
Yeah,
but I think commodity deflation is helpful too. So that's more reasons to be like, yeah. I think Ryan Dietrich said it perfectly this morning. We're having some seasonal weakness here. We were way overbought. We needed a cooling period, and maybe the Tom Lee is 7 to 10%. Maybe that's what we're looking for here. I don't think it's a sell it all. That was the top. It's over. I think we probably do eventually go higher because when you just think about the Fed path here now, lower rates is just flat out good for stocks. And it's going to be noise as we go, and we're going to get corrections and stuff. But with the TLT trading up near a 1-year high,
yes,
doing right now, breaking out through 100 soon. And again, I think the TLT is a buy. On dips, probably just a buy.
You took
better things.
You took that a while ago, didn't it?
Yeah, it's boring, Joel. I mean, it's boring. It's boring. And you sit there and you're getting your 3.8% yield or whatever the hell it is. It's slow and boring. And, and obviously I've sold, I basically, I was in it for a long time, down, up, left, right. And I was like, I think I made some dividends. I think I might have made $1 or $2 on it. It's just slow and boring. It's not fun. It's not fun to trade, but I think it's going higher. So if you're looking for slow and boring and you think you could probably pick up 10% in this, it could hit 110. I think we could hit 110 on TLT, especially it gets a little bit of flight to safety, but interest rates are going lower. Canada cut yesterday. Fed's going to cut. Interest rates are going lower. That's got to make TLT go higher.
Okay, well, let's talk about you. You said it's something that's boring. let's talk about something that's, and this will be the last stock we'll talk about for the rest of the time you're on. Tesla up. See you
They
guys
don't want
later.
any more. They were going nuts this morning when I was talking Tesla here. Well, I ran up another $12 after I was talking about it this morning. The technicals just look good. I added to it 2 days ago because I was like, this technically is starting to look good. So I bought more at 215. I was a little early because it traded down to like 209 after I bought it, but it's now up here at 229, 230. So I'm at a little extra position. I've had the core position pretty much the whole time. Lightened up some at 220. Well, I rebought, a lot of the stock I lightened up here. So I'm sitting, it's always been the largest single stock position in my long-term portfolio. I have it spread across 4 different accounts. So when you add it all up, it's the only stock I own in my kids' RESP, my wife's Canadian lira thing or whatever she's got. I think that's what it is. I've got it in my RSP and I have my wife's RSP. So I have 4 different accounts. And then sometimes I trade it from the long side of my trading account as well. Sometimes I short the stock too in my trading account, but right now I've been biased to trade this from the long side because stock's moving. The
Yeah.
news flow's been good. I mean,
Yep.
this has been a terrible few days for the market here overall, really.
Relative strength. Relative
Relative
strength.
strength in Tesla is incredible right now, folks. It's the exact mirror image of NVIDIA, really, right now. So NVIDIA straight down for 3 days. Tesla now straight up for 3 days. It's showing you a lot of relative strength. From a trading perspective, I think you're buying dips. I think it looks good. Technically,
Okay.
it looks good. And then the news flow has been really good.
Okay, let's talk about the future instead of the past here. I don't know, Dennis, do you have Gordon Johnson on speed dial? I mean, do you
I
guys go?
tweeted at him this morning, but he didn't respond. I wanted
Yeah.
his thoughts because I tweeted him that article that I retweeted. I CC'd him on it, but he's not responding. He reiterated his $24 price target. He values FSD at 0. He was on our show. Gives FSD a 0, gives humanoids a 0, gives their electricity, gives all basically every business, everything else they're working on is a 0. The car company's worth $24. It's
Okay.
just stupid. Honestly, sorry, Gordo. It's dumb. It's dumb to just say Tesla's $24. I mean, you're going to give a P multiple of 7 or 8 times on the cars. I mean, that's just not looking at what's happening here. And I'm stay long Tesla. Been correct. I'm averaging at 180. Been up a lot more. It was 265. Was looking really good. And it's pulled back. I bought a little bit, sold a little bit, traded a little bit. Still have the core position. I think I've just got to stop looking at it. I think this is going to be a $400 stock next year.
All right, let's move on to more relevant things here. Broadcom after the close here. I would call this not a great data report, number one. Number two, I would be a little cautious with the NVIDIA reaction,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Number three, the market has not been that kind of stocks that split. I mean, it took a while with CMG. I just got to check Starbucks here. I haven't shorted it yet. Oh, it's starting to come in a little bit. So NVIDIA set a high bar, but they kind of met the bar, but they still got hit. I say tough going long into this print here. I look at the 150 area. I would have nothing to do with this stock on the long side if it takes out 150. That was the low back in August before it took off, and that was the low of the last 2 sessions. If we caught a bid here, I don't know what the expected move is here. If we caught a bid and I was going for a scalp here, I'd be out there at 163 because you had 3 highs in that area going back to last week. Dennis, how you sizing up Broadcom? High bar, low bar?
It's got a normal bar here, but there are just in this market still where Zscaler really got hit. The quarter wasn't good, but really got hit hard. It just in the environment here where they're cautious towards tech right now. So I think what happens is if we get a significant rally, I think it finds sellers. It's kind of the opposite of Lulu. So I would say it's not really a high bar because the chart's not really run up into it, but it's just not what people are looking for right now. They're playing cautiously. So the expected move on AVGO is 450 plus 550. Call it $10. Call it $10. So 10 up, 163. I think you find sellers up there. 10 down, I don't know if you find buyers. So I think I'm playing this the opposite I was with Lulu, where I was looking to buy the dip on the earnings. If Broadcom rallies, I'm actually be looking to sell the rip, sell it short on a rally. So that's how I might be playing Broadcom tonight. Again, when you're selling short earning stocks, you always, play it a little bit cautiously. Sometimes it's not great to get them when they're going up. Wait till it stops going up and starts leaking. But then it's harder to get it on too. Sometimes you don't get a chance to get it on. But it's fun. I mean, it's a lot of babysitting, but you got to be somewhat cautious when you're playing it that way. But I do think if you get up to 163, 165, I think you're going to find happy sellers. People are looking to raise cash.
And if someone, there's always the earnings tempter out there that are either bidding a stock up or offering it down. What would, and you've done pretty well on those a few times. You've also gotten smoked. What would attract you? Like, let's say a relentless bidder came in here and this thing was like before the report, bidding 158. Gave you a 5-point lead.
No, I short it. So if somebody wants to come in, what time do they report?
You know what?
Let's go look.
Yeah.
Maybe Joe. Yeah. You got to go columns in Pro and you add time announced because it doesn't default. And they should do that. 415. So you're saying somebody comes in here at 405, 410, so I'll pay 158. I'll short it ahead of it because if they give me a 5-point lead into it, I do it. Sometimes they know something and that really sucks and then it goes. But I trade stocks like that all the time. People say, you're nuts. You're shorting ahead of the earnings, intentionally in the earnings. If the expected move is $10 and they're going to give me a 5-point lead, I short it all day long. If the expected move is $10 and they sell it off 5 points ahead of it, I buy it all day long. Unless it's Dollar Tree or Dollar General, I would have stayed away from those because the expected moves were just not even in the realm and they're just out to punish those stocks, even though Dollar Tree is bouncing a little bit here today. Know the stock you're doing, but other things being equal, when they give me half the expected move going into the print, meaning that it's closed, and now after hours it's trading up 5 ahead of the print, I'll short it. And there's an edge there. There's alpha to be extracted because the option maker's already priced in 10 points. They're giving you 5, so it's 15 on the down and 5 on the up if it stays between that. That's an edge. That's an edge I play all the time. Like, it's a core strategy of mine. So just consider that, when you're trading. There is times and places where you can intentionally take things into the print. Now, you got to have a big stomach because it comes out. Sometimes you lose 5-6 points. Say, okay, well, that one didn't work out. But they were still giving me a 5-point edge. And maybe it really doesn't work out and it goes up 15 on you. That can happen too. That stuff happens. But, maybe you play with smaller size. But there's an edge in trading these stocks after the print.
Like there's going to be someone out there tempting you in Broadcom today. But
sometimes I've traded them like when they're 415. My buddy from Bright Trading buys them on the close because a lot of times they get bid up right before that and tries to get out with $1 or $2. But then he got burned on Microsoft the other day when Microsoft reported like a couple of weeks ago. It was supposed to report at 415, reported at 402, 13 minutes early, and he was long and he's like, oh my gosh, and he got hammered. Thinking, it's probably going to get bid up and I'll still have 10 minutes to get out. And if it doesn't get bid up, then I do. But a lot of times you do see a few minutes before they get bid up ahead because maybe shorts are like, oh, crap, I got to get that covered. I forgot to cover it on the close. Or maybe, people are just excited and I want to position myself ahead. A lot of times you see the tech stocks get bid up a little bit ahead of the report, but it's a timing thing. And sometimes they do come out early. Broadcom scheduled for 4:15, but they're not always perfect. Sometimes it could be early.
I'm not gonna mention his name, but you think he would ever come on the show?
Yeah, my buddy from Bray. I have multiple friends from Bray. Lots of good, many fantastic traders from Bray Trading, just like T3. These prop firms, man, these guys just find like little edges like that. Like he'll trade that stuff, and I do too. And I've learned a lot from Bray Trading. I've learned most of my strategies. Let's be honest. Don Bright, core of my strategies. Like just so much. That's why it's so hard if you're like a retail trader and you're just trading, you're just trading on your own.
What's hot?
Like you don't want to invest in anything. And here we can just go on a little tangent for a second because we haven't really done one yet. And I see that the chat wants rants. There was 3 poor people that said no rants today, Dennis. But here's a rant. So you want to be a full-time trader. Let's just say hypothetically, you're not an investor. You want to like quit your day job, be a full-time trader. The first thing you got to do is have good news sources. Because I don't care. You say, oh, I'm a technical trader. I don't care about the news. I tell you, I have seen a lot of technical traders. There's not a lot of successful technical day and overnight traders that don't pay any attention to the news. You got to kind of know what's coming up, what's moving stuff. It's the combo approach. The best traders use technicals, but they also use, news, information coming in. They understand how that impacts. They say, I don't care about a rating. The technicals look bad on this. I'm going to short the stock. When it gets upgraded, it's going up. I don't care what the chart looks like. Gets upgraded to buy, it's going up. Unless the market just completely falls out of bed, which can happen. But so the combo approach. So one, make sure you have good news flow. Two, don't be ignorant and just think, oh yeah, I just use charts and that's it. There's so many more ways to make money with it. Little edges, like we talk about the earnings run up. I'm usually long stocks 3 to 4 days ahead of the reports for the simple reason because they're going, they usually get pushed up. They're being talked about in the media. There's reasons behind that. They're excited. I mean, there's only one stock reporting, of note even really tonight is Broadcom. So they're going to be talking about it. And sometimes what happens is it goes down and then CNBC or they would start talking to Jim Cramer. There's nothing else talking about. It's like, I kind of like the report. And that can change things too. So their opinions can move price as well. So many different ways to trade. But don't think I'm just going to look at a chart and I'm going to, make a living trading. I'll say it right here. I don't think I know really very many. Now, swing trading is different. Long-term investing is timing. But short-term, like 2-hour, 4-hour positions, overnight positions, I don't know a lot of successful traders that are just charts only.
It's too automated too. I mean,
It's like you think you can look at it better than all these bots. You think you can look at that chart better than the other 6 million people trying to do the same thing. That's why I say you got a combo. Run right away when you get a news thing because Robinhood and all those guys, none of those people pay for information. They're not going to pay, $150 a month for a Benzinga Pro. They're definitely not going to subscribe to a Bloomberg for $2,500 a month. They're not going to pay for anything because they just want to do it all for free. What kind of business are you trying to start where I'm going to have zero expenses, not going to spend a dime, and I'm going to start a successful business? I want to trade for free on Robinhood. I'm going to use $0 and I'm going to invest $0. I'm going to make a living off of this. It doesn't make any sense. You have to spend money to make money. I spend approximately $3,000 a month on software, information, data, just different things to help me filtering, looking through the market for certain criterion, stuff that meets, idea generation. I spend about $3,000 fixed cost a month. So $3,000 for me to get break even. That's in my day trading and overnight trading business. And then, it's like the workload, you're putting work in, you're understanding interpretation of stuff. That's how you build a successful trader. That's the edge, folks, is everything else. The charts, I know people like to say, and there's some very good technicians out there, and it's worth something for sure. I do look at charts as well, but it's not like going to just, I don't think you can just look at charts and just kill it.
Things have changed.
I really don't think
things have evolved. I think that's the thing with you is that because I've known you since, since you started, starting with penny stocks and arbitrage and you used to only do Viacom A and Viacom B and
for a full year.
For a full year. But because
I was doing basically high frequency trading and I had algorithms. I did high frequency trading from like 2001 to 2008, automated trading, algorithmic trading, had 2 ready accounts. One was fully automated, and I moved away from that because why? I got pushed out of the space. Citadel is too good at it. Virtue Financial's too good at it. There's a bunch of other ones too, obviously. It's too competitive. So, I've lengthened the time horizon. I've kind of done the combo approach where I'm using a little bit of, just a little bit of common sense probably, and a news interpretation. I would say I specialize really in news interpretation, like seeing a headline, what's that worth? And the algos might say, oh, it's worth 1%. Well, I've seen this, and lately this is worth more. Or maybe we're in a market environment where ratings don't matter as much. When the VIX spikes to 60 and somebody pays up 2% for an upgrade, I short it to them because it doesn't make any sense in this market environment. Maybe your algorithm works 2% when the VIX is at 15. But when the VIX is at 60, a stock is a stock is a stock. And they're all moving together. And they don't give a crap that the stock's upgraded because the VIX is 60 and there's crap going on, major macro stuff. So when macro's driving the bus, it's a completely different animal than when we've got, the VIX calm at 12 or 13. When the VIX is calm at 12 and 13, news, individual stock news matters a lot more. When the VIX spikes to 30 or 40, individual stock news matters a lot less. Nobody will teach you that out there. Write that down. That's important.
Real quick, imbalances to me, I think they came out to the sell side there.
A little bit. Not bad. Nothing major. Nothing happening in balance land, really. Nothing major.
Okay. All right. Because you had the spike down. I kept the spider up here at 350. Last thing, Don't You Sign is reporting after the close today. Not sure what the expected move is. I got to get the charts up here. I'll give you the charts, which, you got to be able to interpret the news as well. I just don't like the thing under 56. I mean, to me, like, hey, I'd hold on 56, Aaron here. And then that right now, if I was playing it for a scalp or trying to exit along, you got a trio of highs just under $60. Dennis, high bar, low bar for DocuSign.
No
Or
bar.
no bar.
No bar.
No bar.
I think it is what it is. This is a stock that's actually been so beat up over the years. This could go either way. It's a hard earnings report. It's not really a stock that's run by, major tech. Obviously, tech's out of favor, But this stock's been out of favor for a long time.
Needs a
So
pandemic.
it's the Zoom of the DocuSign world. It's the Zoom, the one trick pony. They're both the same. DocuSign, Zoom, cut from the same cloth. Zoom kind of went up on their report and kind of held it. So if DocuSign says anything okay, I could see the stock going up.
Okay. All right. Last stock. Unity.
I gotta go. But Unity has, okay, so one more. Unity showing a little bit of life, had the upgrade, then the overall broad market brought the stock down. Now it's showing the life again. I think Unity has bottomed. I thought about it 2 days ago, actually, when it got down to 16. I thought about buying the dip, and obviously would have been good. It's up at 17. I think you're buying the dip in Unity. I think it's bottomed.
Okay, all right, out of here, 356. That's Dennis. You know him as that Triple D Trader on the extended version of the closing print here. We did get a little sell-off. We're having a negative day. It's kind of a yo-yo day. I have a little bit over 3 minutes here. Let me see if there's any stocks in here. EKS throws in Oracle, who's due to report on Monday. Now, if you're looking to this has kind of had a little bit of a pre-earnings run up, at least the last 2 days, showing some relative strength ahead of the report. Oracle, over the years, has had some good reports. Has popped, but has come down to fill the gaps here. So, a little bit of a pre-earnings run here, and Oracle having a good day and a red day in the market. Someone was asking about Silly Lily here. Finally found some resistance. I never really changed that retracement level. Oh boy, triple top, quad top. Oh, let's call it 970. This is wow, that's not a 50% retracement. That was a trading range. Oh, it was a 50% retracement from something, but obviously not relevant now. What I look for in a stock like this is starting to sell off is at least 2 to 3 lows in the same area. I don't have that in Lilly. So I guess if you want to hold on to this, your longer term, you can look at the 904, 903.79. That was your low on August 14th. You bounced off 906 today. So you want to see the bulls really establish a bid here above 900. I don't know if you're going to get a spike low off the number like you did here at 750, but that's a warning shot. That reminds me of the SPY chart or the S&P chart, up near all-time highs, consolidation. You break down through the consolidation range. Now that major support is going to be major resistance. So that would be up at the 940 area. Sellers still persistent here. It looks like we're going to close above 5,500 by the hair of our chinny chin chin, but I'm speaking a little early. Did mention the Zoom. Now, the Zoom had the gap and go. Triple top at 72. That's the only thing I can give you on this one. 3 highs. Someone trying to parcel out over 72. They let it go 72 bid few days in a row, and then they come in with their piece to sell. Wide open here on the downside. I couldn't tell you where I would buy this thing on a decline because of just this huge bar that you had here in Zoom. If you want to talk about, all right, we got a couple stocks here. Which one should I do? 45 seconds to go. K-Back. Haven't seen you in a while. I'm going to do K-Back and Grove Lane. Grove Lane, a dedicated listener of the show. SoFi, it should be rallying, right? It's kind of a financial. Well, it did rally. You got 2 lows in the same area. If you're looking to buy the dip, 3 lows in the same area, I'd say the lower $7 handle, very important area to hold. Shorter term, you get a pop here, double close area. That comes in at 750 if you're looking for some resistance there. But S&Ps pop in here off the close, finding buyers ahead of the reports. Last stock of the day, I'll call 14. I'll call 55-14 the closing print. BCE, is that Bell Canada? What is that? What the hell is that? Is that BCE? That's just BCE. Not a bad day. Is it Bell Canada? Guys, help me out here. BCE. Anyways, let's look at it. Not a bad day today. Didn't get back those gains from yesterday. Strong 2-day move overall. Not a great looking stock. If you've held on this long, this far, let's see if you can get a gap fill at. Where's the gap fill? 35.67. Oh, you're above that. You filled the gap. Hmm. If there's any sellers, is there anything here in this thing? There's nothing here. 2 days in a row. Let's see if you can make 36 support instead of resistance in BCE. Thank you all for joining me here. Sorry about the ads. I didn't mean to set that. Have the thing. I will. Yep, Bell Canada. I will talk to Josh about that. We will get that turned off for the next closing print. We got Blue Putnam coming on tomorrow on tomorrow's pre-market prep show. Everybody, don't stay up too late watching the first NFL game of the season. Not me. KC, 3-point favorites. If they're home, I'd lay the points. If they're on the road, I wouldn't lay the points. That's it for today, folks. Everyone have a good night. Thanks for joining me and Triple D on the closing print.